G'day folks, Conor here from C-Dubs Media, back with another video, and today I'm doing my top 10 settings to change on the Pixel 8 Pro right now. So without further ado, hit the like button and the subscribe button and let's get stuck into the video. Now as usual, I took notes because I can't remember shit, but this video is the settings I change with the Pixel phones whenever I get one, but there's a few in here for the Pixel 8 because not all these options are available on every Pixel device at this point in time. Now that changes, so be it, but right now some of these only available on the Pixel 8 Pro. Now the first thing I want to talk about is a pretty basic one. So for you seasoned users of Pixel devices, you might want to skip to point number 2. But number 1 is customize your home screen. And to do that, hold your finger down on the home screen and you will get some options to edit your home screen. And from there, I want you to click on Wallpaper and Style. And when you click on that, you can then select your wallpaper, change your theme settings, theme your icons to go with your wallpaper, and also change the grid layout of your display. Now here's how I have mine set up to suit me. I like that grey, black, white sort of theme. I'm happy with that. It actually makes me use my phone a little bit less, which is a real positive. And I would say this is where you can go in and really make your device you. Lots of wallpapers to choose from, lots of themed icon combinations to choose from as well. So go in there and play around with it. And I have a special AI tip for the home screen wallpapers that is only available on the Pixel 8 Pro, and I will go through that with you shortly. Now, again, this is not unique to the Pixel 8 Pro. My second tip or my second setting to change is double tap to screenshot. Now, you can go into your settings here, scroll down to System, then to Gestures, and you can see in there that one of the gestures you can set up is double tap to take a screenshot. Now, this isn't just for a screenshot though. You can change double tap to open an app or do certain actions for you. I do like double tap to take a screenshot because then I'm not stuffing around with buttons here and there, getting all awkward on my device. Just double tap and it takes a screenshot. That is a quick and dirty one, so let's go straight into number 3. Now the third one I want to talk about is shooting your video in 24 frames per second. Now there's some really nice video features now in the Pixel 8 Pro with the new settings. I really do like what they're offering here, and I think the video in Pro mode looks amazing. But I think you should remember to film in 24 frames per second. It just looks much nicer. It's a little bit more cinematic, gives a little bit of a dreamy look to it, and I think adds an overall quality to the videos you're going to be recording. Now, if you want to go in and play with your footage later and maybe slow it down in post and stuff like that, then maybe you want to film in 4K 60. But I think for everyday video, shoot in 24 frames per second. Here is how you change it to 24 frames per second. And here is some footage I recorded using 24 frames per second. I think it looks awesome. So this is 4K 24 frames per second. I think it just looks a little bit more cinematic than 4K 60 or 4K 30. It's just nice. A little bit dreamy look about it, especially when you're filming in like golden hour. So if you are going to film and just post straight to social media, use 4K 24 frames per second. It has that true cinematic feel to it. Now, number 4 top settings to change in the Pixel 8 Pro is also in the camera. And this is going in and trying out Pro mode. We finally have a bit of a Pro mode here in the Pixel devices, especially here on the 8 Pro. You don't get it on the 8, you just get it on the 8 Pro. Go in there and play around with it. Now, the Pixel devices are known for their amazing computational photography. Take a photo of this, it exposes it perfectly, puts amazing color in it, spits it out, you can share it straight to social media. But if you want a little bit more control over your photography, then put it into Pro mode, play around with it. You can dim the lights, you can dim the exposure, you can change the ISO, you can get a really nice looking image that's unique to you, and then you can edit it again in the app if you want to, but play around with it, be creative, and you might find a deep personal love for photography hiding within yourself. Now, changing track here, totally different to taking photos, and it's within the call settings and it's setting up call screen. This is awesome. You know, like, I'm sorry, but if you're an Apple user, you just don't have this and you probably won't get it. You are so far behind. But what it actually is you go into your settings, you change it so that it screens your calls for you. It actually speaks to the person ringing you. So then you can get a live caption on your display of what that person is saying, and you can quickly determine whether it's spam or whether you should take the call. Now, I've recently had my daughter's childcare provider call me while I was at work. I didn't recognize the number. I screened the call and I could straight away see, hey Connor, it's so-and-so here from After School Care. Would you like us to? And I could quickly answer the call and take it, as opposed to having to answer all those spam calls from China and wherever, where they're trying to tell you that you're behind in your taxes and you have to deposit $5 million in their account as soon as possible. No more do I have to deal with that. Google looks after it for me. That's pretty awesome. And I think things like this are the smart features we're all hoping for. That adds value to my life. And I think people, once they use it, will be hard pressed to turn away from features like that on the Pixel 8 Pro. Number 6 for me is setting up your translation features. Now, you can have your camera translate text through the camera as you're pointing it towards, say, a street sign or a shop front. It can translate it if it's written in a different language for you. It can do it on device as well. Now, you might have to go in like this and download the actual languages onto your device, but once you have them on board, you do not need an internet connection. So really handy if you're traveling. I recently went overseas to Vietnam and I took the Pixel phone over the iPhone because of these built-in translation features that are just unbeatable. And not only that, but it also has interpreter mode where you hold down the power button and talk to it, and then it will translate it in real time to the language of the person you're trying to communicate with. So you can have a dialogue back and forth with someone in your own perspective languages, and Google does all the work for you. And it works pretty good. It's not far off the mark of being like 100% accurate. It gets a few little things wrong here and there, but there was never a situation where I was like, I don't know what they're saying. Google translated it enough for me to be able to get the picture, and same for the person I was communicating with. Killing it. Interpreter mode, translation features, in-camera translation features. Turn them on, download the languages you want, and you will be stoked. Now, number 7, going back into the home screen settings, and this is where you can generate an AI wallpaper. And I'll just have a look at this. This is an AI wallpaper that was designed by Google. I just gave it some keywords to use for the purpose of making this wallpaper, and it created it for me. So what we do here is we go into our home screen settings by pressing long press on the home screen, click on wallpaper and style. Then we're going to go more wallpapers, and up the top there you choose AI wallpaper. Once you tap in there, you select a subject or a topic if you like, and then once you're in there, you then change the words that are written there. So a surreal castle made of silk in shades of coral and tan. And you can change the word castle to boat. You can change the word silk to chiffon or cotton. And then you can change the colors, coral and tan, to pink and purple, blue and indigo. You get the picture. And then it spits out wallpapers generated off the instructions you've given it. I like it, and I really like my home screen. Again, there it is. It's unique to me, I believe, and I like what it spat out, so pretty cool. And you'll start to notice a lot of these features are based on AI. Some of them are old school tips and tricks, but there's some AI features in here that I think you're going to be really impressed with. The next one for me is like one of my most used tips and tricks, and that is flip to shush. Now, phone here, volume up loud, interruptions all day through notifications and phone calls and whatnot, walk into a meeting, turn my phone upside down, it's muted until I turn it back over again. Now that is so convenient and so easy. I don't even have to think about it. I don't have to go into the settings or anything. Once it's set up, flip to shush works perfectly every time. Now, how you change that is you go into your settings, you scroll down to system, then you click on gestures, and then down the bottom there it says flip to shush. Just switch it on and you're set, ready to go. One of my most used and favorite features. I think I would use it like 5 or 6 times a day. Now, number 8 is a little bit of a boring one, but it is pretty good for the long-term life of your phone, and that is turning on adaptive charging. Now, adaptive charging is that it slow trickle charges your phone between when you go to bed and when your alarm is set for the next morning. So I might have to only charge 80% through the night. I can put it on charge and it will slow charge it and have it ready for me by the time I wake up in the morning, as opposed to charging it really quick in 20 minutes and then just leaving it plugged in for the rest of the night. Not good for the long-term battery life of your phone. So adaptive charging, good for your phone, and that means it's good for your hip pocket. Now, number 10, this is like brings me happiness, this one, because I get up every morning at 5 a.m. I never bounce out of bed happy to go. It's always a struggle to get out. And one of the things that can help me get up in a better mood and more easily is an alarm clock that is customized for me. So I have a certain genre of music comes on as my alarm in the morning. But that's not all that happens when my alarm goes on. So it starts playing nice, gentle music that I've pre-chosen, or at least pre-chosen the genre. Then it tells me about the weather, it tells me about what's on my calendar for the day, and tells me about any tasks that I have ready to go for me. And then it plays me my favorite tech news podcast for that day. So the Wall Street Journal has a tech podcast. It's about 12 minutes long, and that comes on as well and leads me into my day. And that's set up for me. That's perfectly personal to me and a great alarm clock, as opposed to like a ringtone just blaring out through the bedroom at 5 a.m. and potentially waking up others. But again, it just adds that personal value to me that I have in my day through the Pixel phone. And I think these 10 settings alone are just scratching the surface. There's so much more that these phones can do. So if you do want to see more tips and tricks and more videos on the Pixel 8 Pro and the Pixel series of phones, make sure you hit the like button and the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, and you'll get all the videos that I put out on the Pixel series of phones. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. Comments or questions down below on these settings, and I'll catch you in the next video.